Essential Garage Tape Pack, the only #1 garage tape pack channel on YouTube.
So welcome to the Essential Garage Tape Pack podcast with myself, Shane. Lovely to have my guest with me today, Jay Jr. How we doing?
How you doing, mate? You all right? You good?
Right. I'm good. It's been a while, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a few months.
It's been a few months.
It has, yeah.
Definitely.
All good, mate.
How's life been treating you since I last saw you?
Yeah, can't complain.
Yeah.
You know, health first. You know,
of course.
Everything's good, mate. Yeah, bless you.
Absolutely, that's good, man. And why we've got you on the podcast today is because we just want to know a bit more about yourself and your journey and get a little bit about you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us a bit about yourself, for those who don't know you.
In what department? What?
It's about yourself. You got where you brought up from, where you grew up, your background.
How long have we got for this podcast?
As long as you want it to be.
Well, I mean, I grew up in Palmer's Green, which is in North London.
Yeah.
Sort of, it's kind of bang in the middle of like a mile up the road is Tottenham, next door to a green, and then you've got further up Palmer's Green, you've got Winchmore Hill, and then that catchment. You know, so I grew up in Palmer's Green. Yeah. Studied in Southgate, which ain't far. Went to school there. Okay. Kind of as a kid, my background heritage is Turkish, so Cypriot Turkish. So my family my parents and my grandparents, they came over in the 60s. So and settled in sort of Holloway, just off Tufnell Park that way. So as a kid I kind of grew up in Palmer's Green, spent a bit of time in sort of Holloway and them sort of areas, you know, Islington, Highbury. Yeah. So I was born in Islington. So so I still kind of live in the area. Okay. So I'm still not Palmer's Green, but not far, you know. So I'm still in the area. Yeah. So, and as you know, I'm in the entertainment game.
Of course.
Which is why we're here.
Absolutely. And you got any siblings?
I have, yeah. I've got 2 brothers.
You do?
And a sister.
And a sister?
I'm the youngest. Oldest brother's in furniture. He's been in it for many years. Okay. I spent quite a bit of time working with him as well. Okay. My sister kind of worked in PR. Now she's sort of like a sort of semi-retired mother. My brother, as you know, Arkin, aka Mr. Jones, Cafe 432, you've interviewed already. I have. So Arkin's in the music game, producer as well. That's family, is as well as the extended nieces and cousins, and you know. So I've got quite a big family. So yeah.
It's nice to have a big family sometimes.
Well, it's got its benefits.
Of course it does.
But yeah, you know, in general, grew up in sort of areas and different areas, experienced different things growing up. My sort of like going into sort of music, if you want to talk about sort of where that come from or how we kind of got into the entertainment sort of game. Yeah. Where it kind of like as a child, I like my mum's family, like we had 5 uncles. They were all into music. Yeah. So like the 60s, 70s and stuff, and I spend time there, like my uncles and my nans and stuff, and they used to have vinyl. So we used to go, you know, as kids we used to play with their vinyl, mess about with their vinyl. As well as my brothers as well. So like my oldest brother was very much into the soul thing. And as a youngster, you know, they always had vinyl. So we always had vinyl around us. So I kind of grew up in that sort of music. Yeah, like sort of, you know, learning sort of artists and from an early age, you know. And then Jonesy, Arkin, I think I must have been about 14 or no, I must have been about 15. he's kind of come home with some Technics 1200s, Mark IIs and a mixer and a little JBL speaker and whatnot, and it kind of started from there really. How we kind of got into the DJing part of it. I mean, I was young. He was started buying vinyl, and you know, I used to sit there watch him play, and then you know when he'd had enough and he'd go out, I would jump on the decks and start, you know, sort of. So that's where it kind of come from, where we sort of got into music really. I think from an early age, you know, and we just sort of got into the whole vinyl scene, so which for me was, you know, it gave me like a good knowledge of music and artists. So yeah, you know, that's kind of where we sort of started the sort of birth, and then we, you know, I think further to that, a couple of years later, I think, you know, he bought some JBL bass bins and was like, right, we're going to start doing little parties. So we ended up doing sort of smaller little parties and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and then getting sort of getting collared into doing like sort of parties for sort of the wrong type of people, which sort of you'd go on for 2 days, and you know, like we weren't allowed to go home and stuff like that, and so that's how we kind of sort of got into the rave part of it.
Right.
And then after that, started doing events really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of your early journey into the entertainment business as such.
Yeah, so kind of like that's kind of where it sort of come from. But like, you know, like I said, we've come from like quite a creative family. Like I said, my sister was in PR when she worked, you know, and my oldest brother's into furniture, so furniture design and stuff like that. And then Arkin's sort of a producer in music. So I kind of like, as a youngster, from the age of 15 all the way up to say, you know, my 20s, I was sort of surrounded by sort of music and design and creative stuff. And I think I must have been about 18 or something. And my brother had a studio, so they had a unit in Millmead Industrial Estate. So I don't know.
I think he referred to that on.
Yeah, and like so there was 2 studios in the building. I think on one side was Ramsey and Fenn, and MJ Cole was a producer then. Yeah. It was early days for him. Like this was like kind of before. So this is sort of like the birth when UK Garage was really popping off. And my brother had a studio on the other side, and then across the road was, like in another unit, was the Dream Team.
Oh.
Yeah, and then Jason Kay, God rest his soul, Jay was in another unit round the corner. So like this sort of like, this industrial estate was like, had all these studios with, and the UK Garage thing was popping off. And yeah, so it was just like everyone used to come in and out of the studio, you know. Matt Jam and, you know, Norris Windross and everyone was just in and out of the studio just regularly. So yeah, so I kind of grew up around the whole sort of music thing, and we was doing events, more so my brother and his partner, but I used to obviously help with the promoting and stuff, and I was DJing as well. So that's how I kind of got into doing events really. So I learned from an early age how to do an event, you know, and what it's about. And yeah, and I got basically after that I was just hooked, you know. It's like a boomerang. I throw it away and then it just comes back. So I've had these phases in my life where I've kind of got out of it for a little while, but it keeps the scene coming back. And so yeah, but you know, I enjoy it. You know, I can't complain. It's all fun, you know.
Absolutely. So where does the acting come into it?
Well, I sort of so basically I used to work in sales and I used to work in the motor trade. So I worked for, you know, different brands. I've done like loads of sales courses and stuff like that. And when I was working at Mercedes-Benz, I used to have a day off on a Wednesday, and I was just like, I want to do something different. But the thing is, like, the reason why I mention it, like with Mercedes-Benz and their training, they actually hire like actors to come and sort of walk in the showroom or when you're training. So they hire real actors. So because it's a lot of role play in sales, so so I kind of like sort of was good at the whole role play thing, and then I was just like on my day off, which is a Wednesday, I was just like, I just want to try something different, and I got into, so I just went and started a drama course. Okay. And that's kind of where it kind of started. But I mean, not that, you know, I've done a few bits. I've got like, I'm Spotlight registered. I've got quite a few credits. I haven't had like landed a major role or anything, but you know, it was just really, it started with me just wanting to do something different. And then from there, as anything else, when you meet, you know, when you get into something, you start meeting different people, which kind of like guides you into stuff. And I had an event on. I was doing actually a Midsummer Ball, and someone hit me up on Facebook and said, "Oh, you know, I'd come to your parties in Cyprus, and you know, I know you've got an event coming up, and I want to come and that." And so we got into a bit of chat with this guy, and I was like, "Well, what do you do and stuff?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm in film production and everything else." So I was like, "Oh, excellent." I was like, "I've just started doing a drama course," and he was like, "Well, why don't you come down? We're shooting the last scene, you know, on the thing. Come down, you know." So I thought, do you know what? You know, I've been on, you know, I haven't been in studios and stuff, but you know, I'd never really been on a film set. You know what I mean? So yeah, so it was just like, I was like eager, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go and check it out. So I've gone down there and didn't know no one. It's like the last sort of day of filming. So then I've just rocked up, and people were like, "Well, who's this guy?" You know, so I was just like, "Oh, well, like Aaron's asked me to come along," and they were like, "Oh, wow, okay, and, you know, just sit over there and whatever, and grab something if you want and whatever." And then this guy walks in, and he's like, you know, glasses on, you know, right eccentric, you know, dress and stuff like that, and like people shaking his hand and stuff like that, and I was like, well, he's obviously someone, you know. And then he's coming, he stopped, and he sort of looked at me, and he's like, "Who are you?" sort of thing, like, "What are you doing here?" Because it's like the last day of filming, do you know what I mean? And I was just like, I goes, "I'm Hass," you know, like, Aaron invited me down, and he's like, "Oh, cool, you know, come with me and stuff." So I ended up walking through the film set with him, and then people shaking his hand and stuff like that, and saying hello, and I've sort of like turned around to him and I said, "What, you know, what do you do? Like, what's your role in all this?" And he was like, "I'm the director, you know, and I'm the script writer." So yeah, so I ended up becoming quite close with someone who's involved in creating movies. His name's Savas, D. Michael. You can check out his films if you want. But yeah, and then from there, he, like, you know, he said to me, "Oh, I've got a little part for you," and stuff like that. And, you know, and it just sort of all come together like that. And then, like, I think I sort of got some supporting artists work, which turned into feature stuff for like Gangs of London season 2, and then, you know, The Inside Man, which is another series which I'm in quite a few scenes in. So yeah, so it's like the acting sort of come about like that. Okay. But I don't pursue it like, you know, every day. It's like, if it comes, it comes. I'm not really hell-bent on, you know, becoming like some, you know, famous actor or movie star. It's just something that I've kind of got into, you know, but I enjoy it. It's you know, being on set is brilliant. You know, it's like, you know, when you see how movies are made, and you're in front of the camera and behind the scenes, yeah, and especially when you go like to studios like for like, you know, Universal or the bigger sort of studios, you know, it's actually really sort of mind-blowing. So, but yeah, I enjoy it. But yeah, that's the whole film thing come about from that, really, the acting. Yeah.
Okay. So when I last saw you, we were at Trent Park Country Club for Midsummer Ball.
That's correct, yeah.
For the first one of 3 parties. Amazing party, of course. for those who were there, how were the parties out in Cyprus? The other two.
Well, as you know, the summer send-off party at Trent Park. That was the one you was there, weren't you? So that was a really good night. So the launch of it, of the summer for us was really good and created a good hype, you know, for Cyprus, North Cyprus, and the pre-party was I mean, it was, both of the events really went down really well. I mean, like, you know, the pre-party hit capacity, the vibe was just there, you know, and the music was excellent. All the DJs, the performers, everyone just, like, it was brilliant, you know. And then the main event, which we'd done at Camelot Beach Club, which was, it was a bigger event. So we had sort of 2 arenas, main stage, we had like Big Nasty, Artful Dodger, Colin Francis, you know, Malika, DJ Woody. I'm going to start reading everyone off now, but and then, oh, you never mentioned me. But you know, everyone really sort of, all the artists and everyone really, you know, performed really well, and the atmosphere was just amazing because the setting was on the beach, on the main arena. So literally, you could put your toes in the sea, and you know, and the dance, you know, the stage is there, and it just, you know, it just created this beautiful setting, and you know, it was a really, really good event, you know, both of them, and yeah, so hopefully we're looking to do it again next year, as we do. So yeah, so hopefully everything goes well and we can do it again. But yeah, all 3 of them went down great. That's, you know, good. No complaints. You know, no complaints.
No, absolutely. So your next event, Numb Nums, on Saturday 23rd of November.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit more about the lineups for that next event.
All right. So it's not just my event, right? Well, let me just say.
Just say for the next event.
I don't want to take credit for everything, you know. You know, like, because I mean, while I'm on that, just that credit thing before I say it, and the reason why I say that is because I think, like, in general, with whether you're in any type of entertainment, whether you're in music, whatever you do, you should always give credit to the others that are involved, you know, and a lot of people don't do that, you know, and for me, it's a big thing because, you know, don't matter where you are on the ladder, you should always get credit for your contribution. Absolutely. Do you know what I mean? But yes, I mean, Numb Nums is something that has been around since 1995, and it's we kind of like, we've done a couple of events over the years, but it wasn't regular. And in the last sort of couple of years, we brought the brand back out, you know. And so last year we've done 3 events we've done. This year we've only done 1, which is on, as you know, on the 23rd of November. And yeah, so I mean, we've got, you know, a big lineup. So the other thing is, you know, like, I think, like, for me, with organising an event or putting on an event, I look at it as a show. And so, like, you know, when you get these sort of events that, you know, they only sort of book a handful of DJs, and, like, you know, and then they're charging X amount of money for people to get in, well, it's like, you know, I don't think you're actually getting value. So for me, it's like, when I sort of put on an event, I actually want to put on a show and actually give people
their money's worth.
Absolutely. So you know, we've got, as you know, we've got a great, you know, strong lineup. We've got 3 massive PAs. So we've got Kelly LaRock, and we've got Malika, and also have Zoe Kipri, who had a big, massive track in the last sort of year with Horizon Red, made by Pete, and she'll be performing as well. And then we've got, you know, fantastic DJ lineup. So we've got Artful Dodger, Colin Francis, Ramsey and Fenn, Cafe 432, myself, DJ Woody, Jodie Weston, and, you know, Jodie Weston's kind of in the last sort of couple of years started playing for us. She's a brilliant DJ. She's a lovely person, and I think she'll always have sort of a set for us, with us, in our future events. But yeah, that's what's going on. It's on the 23rd of November at Trent Park Country Club. It's on from 9 till 4 a.m. So we got extended our license because of the artists, and it's going to be dress, decor, extra sound system, the usual Numb Nums put on spread thing that we do, and hopefully people come down and jump on the fact that it's sort of £20-25 a ticket and you're getting all of these artists performing, so that's what's going down with Numb Nums.
And where can they purchase the tickets?
Tickets can be purchased on Eventbrite.
Okay.
Numb Nums, go Numb Nums on Eventbrite, and it should pop up. You can go on our site, which is Numb Nums Official on Instagram. The ticket link is in the bio.
Okay.
So that's how you can purchase tickets. Tables, we've got a few. I think there's some left actually.
Yeah.
Some tables. So yeah, I mean, we're doing a great little package deal on the tables as well. So it's definitely worth having a look on Eventbrite to see what's going on that night and what offers we have.
So Eventbrite that is. So remember, guys, you can always go onto the Instagram official Numb Nums. So do check that out. Just before we wrap the podcast up, we normally on our podcast ask our guests some fun facts questions about them.
Okay.
About you now. So
great.
No pressure. What was your favourite venue that you performed live at? If you
I've played at a lot of clubs. I mean, back in the day, I used to DJ a lot more. And when the garage scene was sort of in its swing, I used to play out a lot more. I think I haven't got a particular venue because for me, the way I see it is like it's down to the crowd. So if you're in a venue which is, at a certain level and the sound system's great, but it's it's at capacity, then the vibe is going to be great. So normally DJs, when you're playing out to capacity crowd, and there's this, it becomes a memorable event, and it doesn't necessarily boil down to the club. But I mean, if you're saying something that stands out in my mind, I mean, I think actually like open air clubs really do it for me. That's why I kind of love doing events in North Cyprus, because the clubs are open air, in the summer, and they're big. They're like over 1,000 people, so you really do get that vibe there, and I think maybe something that sort of stands out and sort of in my mind is one particular pre-party for the Midsummer Ball we done at a venue called Night Park, which is no longer there. But that particular venue had a great sound system, and the whole setup of the place was just brilliant, because it was like open air, palm trees, and then you got Corinna Castle, which is on the harbour. So the club was sort of situated higher up, and then the castle, sort of the top of the castle, which was all lit up with lights, you could kind of see through the club. So it just had this amazing sort of feel about it, which used to create a great atmosphere, And we had some really good parties in there, and that's probably one of my most memorable sort of nights, that I enjoyed. Obviously, Lanuba in North Cyprus, it's another open air. It's a great club. I mean, it's lights, props, everything. I mean, it's definitely like something that I enjoy playing. I've enjoyed playing at.
Camden Palace or Club Coliseum?
Well, I mean, we had some really good parties at both.
I know.
And I mean, Colosseum had this fantastic sound system.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It was just like, I think all the DJs enjoyed playing there. Like, if you ask any DJ, you know, that had played there, like, they normally say, yeah, the sound system at Colosseum was brilliant. And Camden, I mean, I think two very different venues. I mean, Camden had the whole sort of, because it was bigger, it fitted over 2,000 people. Again, like I said, when you've got like over 2,000 people in one place, it just makes a different atmosphere. Absolutely. Do you know what I mean? So I couldn't really pick either. I'd say Camden Palace for the layout and atmosphere, but I would say Colosseum for sound system. Okay. So how about that?
We'll go with that one.
Yeah.
That's all right. Cyprus or Croatia?
Well, I haven't really done Croatia, to be honest, so it would have to be North Cyprus, you know.
We'll leave it there. Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, I heard Croatia's great and there's good things going on out there, but, you know, like I said, my focus is North Cyprus. So, you know, I recommend anyone comes out there because it is popping off out there and it's amazing. And the clubs are lovely, there's 5-star resorts, it's a beautiful place as well.
Hopefully you can invite me there next year.
Well, you're welcome, mate. Always welcome.
I know.
You know, everyone's welcome.
I know. Couple of more for you. TikTok or Instagram?
I don't do TikTok.
Yeah.
I have got an account, but it's rubbish. My Instagram, let's say Instagram, even though I'm not happy with, you know, how they've clamped down on your reach unless you're spending money. I think all of that is just not nice, and they're doing it on Facebook as well. So I'm not really happy with social media. So I kind of had an account ages ago which had about 7,000 followers on it. I had an account on Instagram when it first come out. So it's like, but then I deleted it, you know, and I reset one up, and it's and now it's difficult to gain the followers, you know. So it's all Instagram for me, and social media is it's one of them ones.
No worries at all. All right, one more question. We're going to wrap this one up. If someone was to make a movie about your life, which actor would you like to play you?
Come on, mate. How long have we got?
Less than 2 minutes.
A young Robert De Niro. How about that?
Oh, yeah, I like that. Yeah, in his prime as well.
Oh, I love the guy, but he's brilliant. But Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, I love all of that genre. Yeah. British crime. Not forgetting my boy Tamer Hassan. You know, he's someone that could possibly play my role. But yeah.
But lovely to have you on our podcast.
You're welcome, Shay. Anytime. You know, happy to be involved.
Likewise, thank you for coming down.
And keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. And remember, guys, Numb Nums, 23rd Saturday, November at Trent Park Country Club. Get your tickets at Eventbrite. Thank you for watching.